why I'm afraid of bald people.
You're afraid of bald people because when you were a little kid, you babysat for a family and the dad yelled at you.
Yes.
And he was bald though.
I was 14, barely older than the kids I was babysitting.
Yeah.
So I obviously couldn't drive there. And so I was babysitting for this girl who was very, very well behaved.
Yeah.
And they told me her bedtime. It was getting close to that time. And I was like, hey, do you want to go to bed? She's like, yeah. She was very sweet. And so I trusted everything she said. She's like, oh. And I was like, okay, I'm going to turn the lights off. She said, oh, my parents let me read in bed sometimes. But as long as I'm in bed by my bedtime, they're okay with it. And so I was like, that checks out with me. Like, that seems right. And so I shut the door, the lights on. The parents get home. And the dad's like, why isn't she asleep? And he's like all mad at me. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I didn't want to get her in trouble. So I was just getting all flustered. And he was pretty angry and it scared me. And then the worst part is that obviously I couldn't drive. So he had to drive me home. And it was like probably a 6-minute drive. It's a small town, but it felt like 60 minutes of him yelling at me. And I'm stuck in this tiny car with him and I was very scared. That was like scarring. I got into my house. I was like sobbing. My dad got on the phone with this guy and